Today I'm going to share some photo books as well as a big surprise that made its way to the LFF mailbox. Hey there, and welcome to LFF. My name's Matt Marrash, and if this is the first time you're stopping by the channel, go ahead and get subscribed because we're currently in our 4th season and you got a few seasons worth of content to catch up on. I'm here up in my darkroom space at 400 West Rich, and I've got my apron on. I'm going to do some cleaning up of the darkroom sink here. I'm going to load up some film, and maybe if I have some extra time, I'm going to print. But before I do any of that stuff, I wanted to share some really neat things that have been making their way to the LFF mailbox. Thank you so much to everybody who's taken the time to write a letter, send in a photograph, send a photo book, or even donate a camera to the channel. It means the world to me that there are so many awesome folks out there that are willing to share their love of large format photography, and I want to send it right back to you. So today we're focusing on some photo books that have made their way to the LFF PO Box. If you want to send something in, you can always send that to Large Format Friday, PO Box 44684, Columbus, Ohio 43204, USA. So for this first photo book, you may see a familiar name here if you've been a subscriber to the channel or checked out any of the live streams. This is from photographer Dong Xu. This is a collection of photographs from a recent trip that he took with a friend to Tokyo, Japan. And I want to share just a few of these photographs. Now, in the technical sense, this body of work in particular was made with a Mamiya 7 medium format camera. All formats of photography are welcome here on LFF, and especially so if there's somebody that's interested in large formats. So this particular book was printed in the spring of 2020 with all of the layout work and everything done by Dong himself, and then this front cover art was done by El Magnifico Art. So thank you so much for sending this in. In addition to the book, he also shared some 4x5-inch contact prints. What I love about these contact prints, well, they're contact prints. They're really nice and sharp. You can look really close up on them and see every little detail. They're on resin-coated paper, and I love the attention to detail in the back. He has a nice little thank you note about the location, and this fantastic little stamp, and even little date and edition numbers. The second photo book I'm going to talk about is from a film photography friend of mine for as long as I've been in the hobby. This is A Faded Glory by Luyckx. Now, Alex is a photographer native to Canada, so he's right up there in Ontario, so not too far from here in Ohio. And this is one of his latest projects on exploring the remnants of the railroad system in Canada. And the whole goal of it isn't to document necessarily trains, but kind of what's left of the train system. I'm pretty sure the first time I interacted with Alex, it was via FPP, or the Film Photography Project. And early on, Alex volunteered and did show notes, made his way to a lot of the original FPP meetups, and yeah, so thank you so much, Alex, for sending in this book. This is a great project, very, very, very well photographed, some great black and whites. It's not exactly train themed, but it's more railroad and architecture themed. So if you're into that, check out A Faded Glory. What I really enjoy about Alex's attention to detail in this book is he's really good about sharing all of his process, his information, his thoughts and feelings when he was making the photograph. And he also includes with every single picture location information and all of the technical details. So if you wanted to be able to recreate this type of look or say, how did he get that look or that contrast, it is all right there in the details of the book. This third book that made its way to the P.O. Box remains a mystery to this day because it came in an unmarked Amazon box. I don't know who sent it, it wasn't on a wish list, and I only try to make about one Amazon purchase per year if I can help it. So whoever sent this, thank you so much, because you've opened my eyes to a photographer I hadn't discovered until receiving this book. This is And Time Folds, a collective of images from over 20 years of work. It's a giant retrospective by photographer Vanessa Winship. Vanessa is an absolutely decorated photographer based out of the UK. She's won 2 World Press Photo Awards. She was the first woman to receive the Henri Cartier-Bresson Award. She's a Royal Photographic Society Fellow, and so many more. I'm going to put a link down below where you can see her work and learn more about it. I can't do enough justice in the short few minutes I'm going to be talking about this book, but what I want to express to you is she is an absolutely fantastic photographer working primarily in black and white film. Vanessa's work ranges from black and white 35mm to medium format, and even has a few bodies of work done in 4x5 large format. Absolutely stunning work relating to the ideas of portrait, identity, documentary. If you get a chance, please at least check out her site, read some descriptions on her work. This particular book was printed in 2018 alongside a retrospective show, which was also titled And Time Folds. Excellent, excellent book. And if you are into documentary photography, if you like work that revolves around people and their surroundings, this is a must. Now, I'm a little biased because I love black and white photography, but I'm so happy that this made its way to the P.O. Box because I have just discovered a new photographer and I have someone else's work to check out and dive into and read more about. So thank you, whoever you are. Okay, I've got 2 more photo books to cover, and if you're someone that's watched the channel throughout season 4, you already might know what these 2 are. At the very beginning of this season, I mentioned a Kickstarter, and I don't always throw my weight behind a Kickstarter, but this one was special because it's a photographer whose work I have followed really ever since I saw a short doc on his work. These are 2 books by photographer Nobuyuki Kobayashi regarding his project, The Portrait of Nature, Myriad of Gods. This first book released, I believe, in 2015, and I missed out on the first printing. So when I saw there was an opportunity to get his first book, Portrait of Nature, Myriad of Gods, as well as his second book, Yugen, I just knew I had to do it. If you're not familiar with Nobuyuki's work, you're in for a treat. Nobu-san's work really deals a lot in not just nature itself, but the experience of that feeling of you're part of something greater when you're out in nature. Nobu-san calls this that experience of being in the presence of gods. In the Japanese Shinto religion, a god can be present absolutely anywhere. A tree, a waterfall, the landscape, or something completely mundane that you would ordinarily pass over. And I believe Nobu-san captures this beautifully. A lot of this work in this series that he's been working on nearly 30 years is captured with an 8x10-inch view camera. These are beautiful reproductions of 8x10-inch platinum palladium contact prints. There's more information on his process in the back of each of his books, and his latest book, Yugen, I think is just an awesome success and a great continuation of this work. One thing I really enjoy about looking at the work at this size, at that native 8x10-inch contact print size, is this is a very faithful reproduction of looking at a platinum palladium print without having to shell out what I would assume would be hundreds of thousands of dollars for this many platinum palladium prints in one place. Since I also participated in the Kickstarter for this, I also received some neat little collectible postcards of Nobu-san's work, 1 pack for each book. And they're just fantastic little reproductions. They're a little bit smaller than 4x5 inch on these 4x6 postcards. And I don't know if I'm gonna send these out to folks, maybe for really special occasions, but I just love collecting these prints. And yeah, I'm gonna plan on having a lot of these for a long time. So in case that wasn't enough of a surprise, check out this big thing that came into the LFF PO Box. Somebody sent in an entire crown graphic, and not just anyone. 4x5-inch crown graphic. The serial number for this unit places it around the mid to late 50s. This comes complete with a 135 Xenar, an f4.7 lens, which is fantastic. We've got our sports finder. We do have a matching viewfinder and a working CalArt rangefinder. Pretty awesome. It's got the viewing hood. I don't have the grip or the strap, but that's fine. This is still a super clean Graflex camera, but it didn't just come with the camera. It's everything we need to shoot. It includes, so this is the 23 roll film adapter back. This attaches via the Graflock back and gives me a 6x9 negative, so I can shoot 8 shots on a roll of medium format film on the 4x5, or I've also got 2 of these very nice condition Rightway 4x5 modern-ish plastic holders. They're plastic with metal dark slides, but still gonna do a great job. And to top it all off, we have in this little pouch here, a very nice little 90mm Angulon lens. These 90mm Angulons are well known for being super compact. They can fold in the bed with the camera, just like that 135. It is f8, which can be a little dim on the ground glass, but I'm not gonna complain. A nice 24mm equivalent lens on 4x5 goes a long way, and you can really make this kind of a point and shoot 4x5 with all of that together. I haven't really given Luyckx cameras a fair shake. I know I made fun of them earlier on in season 3 with my large format cringe video, but I really do enjoy these, and they're still a camera that I recommend for folks that are just getting into large format because they can be had relatively inexpensive for something that's super solid. The only caveat I'll add to that is Luyckx cameras, if they don't have all the necessary parts, it can be really hard to track those down. Singer, the sewing machine manufacturer, ended up taking over a lot of the Luyckx equipment and machinery, and if you have something that doesn't come with parts, you may have to source them through third-party companies or custom machinists. And that can get really, really expensive if you're missing a lot or you want something that's like perfectly calibrated. So once I'm all done testing this, we're going to put it up for a giveaway. Probably going to be about season 5 by the time that happens, but stay tuned, get subscribed to the channel, and probably going to have some sort of giveaway for this coming up. Before we head out today, I wanted to give an extra big thank you to everybody who took the time to write in, send in prints, and send in those photo books and that amazing Luyckx Crown Graphic camera. It means a lot that there's so many folks committed to keeping large format going and really supporting the analog community. It's one thing to say it and another thing to contribute and take part in it in any small way, whether it's answering somebody's question, showing them the ropes, taking them out and shooting. Anything you're doing that's a positive step forward, that's how we keep hobbies like this alive. And I also want to offer a big thank you to all of our LFF sustaining members. The LFF sustaining member program is how we keep the lights on here, how I'm able to send giveaway stuff internationally, pay for lab expenses, and travel around. Gas and film kind of went up, so I really, really appreciate everybody who is helping sustain the channel on a month-to-month basis, starting at $1 and all the way up to $10 where I give you priority access to the LFF email. By the way, if you want to hit me up with any questions, you can drop them down below in the comments. I try to get to all of those. And for those longer form questions, you can shoot me an email, largeformatquestions@gmail.com. Thanks again for stopping by, and we'll catch you next week for more LFF.